2025 is here. Andy, hey, say hello if you're in the chat. I see a couple people hanging out. Hey, look, go dogs. Oh, sorry. Too soon? Too soon? Yeah, so. You okay, Andy? You okay?
I'm good. Sorry. I was my wife was bringing me a drink. So yeah. So, I'm excited, man. It's 2025.
2025, and tomorrow marks 3 years of the Rushmore show.
Wow.
And I don't think we could have any more fun doing this. We have great guests. We have a great lineup for this month and next month. We are moving out of food, which is our 6th category, and we're moving into video games for all of January, all of February. I am excited. I've been waiting for this since last January, February, but since Siege, really, because at Siege, Southeast Gaming Exchange, I met most of the guys that we're going to be hanging out with. 7 folks say hello. Retro Lover. Yep, yes, Bryce is here. Hang on, and you will see him. So look, thanks, Fat Boy, for hanging out with us, sharing all that watch time, being a part of the community. Everybody that's on the YouTube side, I'm going to throw you a wrench, and that means you're going to be a standard moderator. And as long as you're cool, we're cool. And if you're not cool, I'm going to send you to the hills. So we want to be on the mountain now. So, Andy, how is 2025 so far?
It's awesome, and I just wanted to wear these for a second because I wanted to tell YouTube that Sean, from the Real Life Perspective, is not the only person who can wear annoying glasses during a live feed.
I love it.
Maybe he rewatches this later. I don't know if he's hopping in or
not.
Well,
here's the thing, Sean, RNG, welcome to the show. RNG will be on the show later. He's actually the last one for this series.
Yeah.
RNG, thank you for being here. I'm going to throw wrenches out to everybody on the YouTube side. So, Andy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got going on this month?
Yes. So, as you alluded to, this is video game series, 2 months for January and February, Thursday nights. Let me say that too. You see us, you know that tonight's Thursday night. We have now made the shift to be on Thursday nights, Thursday Night Live. We did several of those last year. The plan was Friday, but always moved it to Thursday anyway. So we are officially moving our show to Thursday nights. Welcome into the Summit Squad. And as you said, as we were talking about, we are doing video games, which these 2 months always just spike like crazy. People out there, for some reason, and I can't figure it out, just love video games, man. But no, I totally understand. Hashi Hammy and Son, Michael's in the house.
Hammy is here. What to do, Michael?
Riding on the Hamburger Highway.
Hamburger Highway. Hey, so everybody that's out in the chat on the YouTube side, you have a wrench. That means you're standard moderator. Listen, that's like I said, as long as you're cool, we're cool, and we don't have to boot you, whatever. But reason I give those out, one, I want you to know that you're a part of the Summit Squad, and two, I want you to know that every single person here is a part of our community, and we would love for you to go around and follow everybody and love on everybody, whoever you can. So with that being said, this, my friends, is for you new guys. Welcome to the show. Reason we say that, you're a part of the Summit Squad. Summit Squad is anybody that's in our community. We're going to go on our journey today of Game Boy games. And what we do is we rank our top 4. Let me just give you a little bit of the rules beforehand, because I know there's a few new people. It's not let me just say this. It's not the greatest Game Boy games ever. See, RNG is going to be here for the hardest games ever. It's not the 4 hardest games ever. It's our favorite games that are very hard. It's our favorite Game Boy games ever. The things that spark nostalgia and want us to love everything about retro games. If you hang around with us long enough, you'll see we do it in music, movies and TV, food, nostalgia, sports. That's our niche. We're in those 6 categories, and we're on a journey the next 2 months of video games. So if you're a sports guy, yeah. Let me just give you're a sports guy, there are some guys that we love to banter about who are the GOATs, right? Greatest of all time. If you're in the basketball, you're probably arguing the Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar argument, right? You're in one of those guys. You're probably some other guys that are circling that. You're in the football side of things. You're probably like, who's the greatest quarterback? You're talking about Tom Brady, my guy right now, Patrick Mahomes, my guy that just retired, Drew Brees, my favorite forehead, Peyton Manning, and his brother's about to get into the Hall of Fame. But here's the thing, depending on where you're from, where you were raised, how old you are, depends on what your four favorite are. So we're going to go on a journey today to see what our favorite Game Boy games ever. Now, the OG Game Boy, the green and black, right? We're going with the old gray brick, right? That's our games tonight. We're going to be ranking. Hang on to the end. You'll see our honorable mentions, which is a little game that we're going to play. And we got a great guest today, our buddy Bryce. So, Andy, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just about to give a shout out real quick because he was
shout out all those comments, dude.
He was in the comments here, and I just wanted to give a specific shout out. I know I threw it up there a second ago. Hammy and Son. If you guys aren't following him, he was on our show not that long ago talking about hamburgers. Hence, hamburgers the highway. Go rewatch the episode; you'll get the joke. Shared his testimony on there. He just posted a video not that long ago sharing a reel, just being vulnerable about a story that happened. Things, he's very open about that thing, about his life and struggles and things. He shared about that. I would love for you guys go check that out. If you're a praying kind of person, be praying for him.
Comments.
Be praying for him, and we're praying for you too, man. Hey, wait, yeah,
real life. Your annoying glasses,
Sean. I said you're not the only one with the annoying glasses on YouTube, man. Oh, these are cheapos. Yeah, look at my glasses. What do you think? What do you think about that, Sean? I'm taking over the sunglasses game.
Well, if here's Sean's glasses that he sent me, but he's not going to wear these anymore because it ruined his vision. So here's his glasses.
Probably shouldn't do that.
And I can see why. There's real life. There's his sticker. Oh, look, right there he is. But look, let's go on a journey and tell everybody about what's going on. So, we're doing our video games now. Before we get started, let's announce what this next 2 months look like, and then we'll jump in and bring Bryce on, and we are ready to roll. So, as you guys follow, I'm going to add right now. Click. There are our YouTube, all of our Twitch and Facebook. We're live on all three of those right now. Go and support all of them. We yelled out all the numbers last week. We just passed 1,000. We're about to hit 1,050 if we haven't done it already. Manny's in the house. He's going to be on the show. Sending you a wrench, buddy. Brian Tones, I'm sending you a wrench as well. So everybody's got a wrench. Go follow and love. This community is just amazing. I do want to share this. We're not a Christian channel, but we're not a Christian channel. And we will keep it PG. If you guys don't want to do that, I apologize, but you're going to have to go. And we love you. We thank you for being here. But just keep it, because we got kids that watch. So I want to appreciate them and their families, and hopefully you appreciate us. So with that being said, let's look at what's coming up this month, Andy. I don't know that I've been so stoked in my life for the show, but here we go. Here's January, friends. So starting off today,
look at that.
With Game Boy games. Next week on Thursday, Pick and Preacher. We're going to do shmups, little shoot 'em ups. I was playing a shoot 'em up today because I was reliving my Game Boy fam, we got Retro Rob coming out of retirement. We're going to do first-person shooters. Poetically Christian Gamer and Jag, that's Aaron Jagelski. They're both online Twitch guys. They're coming on to do what are your top 4 things that you can do living vicariously through video games. That's going to be a fun one. And then we're going to finish off this month with Manny's in the chat with Manny's Arcade and Saturn Steve doing the Sega Genesis. Then we're going to move on to next month, and we are just packed. Iowa Retro Gamer Dad, who's been on the show. He did Villains last time. He's going to come on and do Heroes this time. Mort, I talked to Mort today. Listen, Mort's one of my favorite storytellers in all of YouTube. And I was talking to him today, and he's like, bro, I think I bit off more than I could chew with overrated games because this is hard. And I said, welcome to the channel, Mort. Look, I am almost starstruck out of these last few because Mort and Pac-Man and Retro Wolf and RNG and Retro Kart, I've been following these guys for a while, and it's just amazing to have these guys on the show. We're doing overrated games. Pac-Man Case and Retro Wolf have picked Nintendo 64's Hidden Gems. Andy, I'm sure you're going to love that one. And finishing off this, RNG and Retro Kart Collector, our favorite Canadian, well, one of them, they're going to do hardest games. And man, it's going to be a blast. We'll show you a little commercial for that in a little bit. But Andy, I think it's time to get going before we lose all of our friends and get this show on the road. Now, here's what you're going to do, guys. As we chat, you guys chat in the comments, giving us your top four favorites, your top four favorite Game Boy games of all time. This is how we do it. 4, 3, 2, 1. There's Retro Kart. We just announced him. Him and RG are going to be on at the end of this thing. Man, I am so happy and so blessed to have you guys on our side. So time to rock. Let's get this thing moving. Andy, it's time to go with our top 4 Game Boy, the OG Game Boy, the OG, the original gangsta Game Boy games of all time. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So look, here we go. Top 4 Game Boy games of all time, and we're bringing on our first one of the 13 amazing creators that are going to come and visit us this month. Our first guy, look, it's a guy that I've been following. He is he's an inspiration in some ways, and in other ways, I love the community he's building. I love that he is he's saved. He's one of the guys on our side. I love what he's doing in his church, and I love just kind of chatting with him and seeing his heart. Let's welcome to the show. There's Pickin' Preacher. He's next week. See you right there, cute buddy. But let's invite to the show, Andy, our buddy BryceJW. Bryce, what's up, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Dude, I'm so excited that you're here. We've been talking about this for a while. You've been hanging out in the Summit Squad, and now you are officially here, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. It's an honor.
Many of these new friends that are in the chat have come from you, but there's some that maybe don't know you. So here's the deal. I want you to share with the Summit Squad, anybody that's going to watch today, why would we have you on a video game episode? Tell us a little bit about your channel and tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so I'm BryceJW. A lot of you know me, some of you may not. I do video game streaming. I do a lot of Geometry Dash. I do a lot of Smash Bros. I do a variety of games, anywhere from like I said, Geometry Dash. Recently I streamed Game Boy games. I played Tetris and other stuff. I'm not going to name off what my top 4 are yet, but I was just saying I played them. But I do a lot of live streams. I have like over 6,000 subs, which is a blessing. And I do live streams. Sometimes I do videos. I do like birthday shout outs and birthday videos and just talk about just different stuff. Like sometimes I talk about my faith. Sometimes I talk about real life stuff. Sometimes I do just chatting stuff, and it's awesome.
That's awesome, man. We love your channel. Right. In fact, you were just talking about today. I was saying you were just talking today. You were just doing some playing some Game Boy in preparation for tonight, so that's awesome.
Yeah, very excited, man. The Game Boy on his Switch. I got my Switch ready. I also got the OG games ready to rock to show off. Andy, I know you don't have any of those because you're not old enough, but you do love this because this is one of your first systems of all time, right?
Are you saying I'm not old enough for the Game Boy?
Well, I mean, you're old enough. Your parents probably like ditched this a long time ago. Like you weren't old enough to be like, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that.
Oh, not old enough. Yeah, no, I get you. I absolutely had the Game Boy. It was amazing. As one of my, like you said, one of my first systems. It is fantastic. Had the Game Boy Color too. I'm gonna stick to OG Game Boy tonight, but yeah, this system is great, man. In fact, I'm doing this nostalgia dig. I started with the 64. There's so many things I want now, man. I want to get an OG brick Game Boy, man. So, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited about this. Now,
hey, I just want to shout out Genesis before she tells us hi, Mr. P, for 1,000 times. I'll see you on Monday. So, guys,
don't let Nightbot get you.
I'm an elementary teacher. Andy used to be an elementary teacher. I'm a pastor, and Andy used to be. No, I'm just kidding. He's still a pastor. I used to be a pastor. We're both.
Did they tell you something they didn't tell me?
And yeah. and Genesis is one of my students. You might see some students bounce in and out. That's why I'm asking if you guys can make sure that you keep it PG. Thank you. And that's the last time I'm gonna share that. Dude, look, I can't wait to get a beard like that, Bryce. If you can rock a beard like that, you're the man. So, a couple things in the chat. I'm seeing you guys, man. These are some good picks. And Bryce. So, I'm sorry, Bryce. We're gonna do Game Boy games now. I let all of our guest hosts pick what we're gonna do, and then we have to kind of have a little bit of a grip on it. And but why Game Boy games? And with that being said, I want you to give us, because we're going to start the channel, we're going to start the going up the mountain. You got to tell us what is the reason you would have picked these favorite four. You know what I mean? So this is what we call the criteria, because everybody's criteria is different. I'm a Chiefs fan and a Saints fan. Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes is way ahead of Tom Brady. That's just my jam. Now, with that being said, some people are going to be like, that game is garbage. That's okay. That's what our show's about. It's about your top four and not theirs. So they're going to share theirs in the chat. Why these four?
Okay, so these four were my childhood games. I played them a lot. I remember my cousins gave me and they might be watching, but my cousins gave me a Game Boy for Christmas. I think it was Christmas birthday, and original Game Boy, and I just fell in love with it. I played it nonstop. I played a lot of it, and I just remember that they just gave me so much joy, so much entertainment for hours and days, and just gave me a bunch of laughs and love, and just it was a great games to play. So I really enjoyed Game Boy because it was basically my childhood.
That is absolutely. Now look, a couple things. Patrick, love the comment about the prayer for tonight. Listen, at halftime, we've got some things to chat about, and I want not only just to pray for that, but I do want Bryce to share his testimony a little bit. So, with that being said, we'll get to that, I promise. And it's not overlooking it, but I do want to make sure we get to a spot where we're going to share all of that, because I do know not all of our friends here are Christian, but that doesn't mean you're not invited a part of the squad and be a part of the show. Right. And so we have a specific spot for that, waiting for that. Thanks for bringing that up, Patrick. Now, Bryce, you're up first, man. And the first one, so for everybody that's new here, the Rushmore, the Mountain of the Four Heads, right? We've ranked them already, and we think that this is the list, right? Andy, who's number 4?
Number 4, we like to lovingly call Rosie. Roosevelt. We ranked him as our 4th most important on the mountain, and that's what we're sticking with. And but we gave him a fun little name, Rosie. So with that said, BryceJW, you're getting your first pick off of the Rushmore. Welcome to the show. You're now official once you make this pick. What is your Rosie, your number 4 game on your Rushmore of Game Boy games, and let us know about it.
Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario.
Oh! Tell us about it. Why you like that game?
Dr. Mario is a very fun game. It's like Tetris, but a lot different. And it's just like the puzzle, like the scrolling down with the meds and the
Mhm.
characters, and it just got really addicting. That game was very much so much fun. I remember spending hours on that game. I remember playing Dr. Mario's like at night and at daytime and just having a blast with it. So
That's a great pick. Now, let me tell you, what was challenging is because if we're going OG Game Boy, you had to like match colors. You had to get real good
yeah,
at like shades and things because you didn't have
yeah,
much
exactly.
change in the color.
Mm-hmm.
Once the game progressed and you started getting it on major color consoles and stuff, it's
Yeah,
a little bit easier.
that
But
easier.
this
Yeah.
this is still a great pick. I love
Mm-hmm.
this one. You took it off my Benjamin, so you're already
Dude,
taking Benjamins away.
this might have been my number 5, Benjamin. I was
Wow.
trying to get this on there. I was trying to make this number 4. I had it right off the mountain. I'll tell you why. One of the reasons I didn't have this necessarily on my mountain was because I never actually owned it for my Game Boy. I played it later, but I know it started here with the Game Boy, and it was awesome. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have it. Great pick right out the gate. And look, there's a lot of people agreeing with you out here in the
Mm-hmm.
chat. And I do want to share this. Kevin, we're only OG today, baby. The old black and white, the old green and black, right?
Green and
They're
black. Yeah.
black. Look, real life is Dr. Mario. Look, Vivo is saying you're inspirational. Dogbert, welcome to the show. I know you were here earlier. You've got a wrench, but Dr. Mario's an epic pick. And
Yeah, it
man,
is.
what
Hey
what an
guys.
awesome, yeah, Dr. Mario with Nintendo flashlight at night. Yes, dude, we have to talk about the Game Boy a little bit. As a kid,
Yeah.
man, you had all the peripherals. This thing was like holding like an old school VCR. It was huge,
Yeah.
right?
It was
Flashlight.
humongous. Yeah.
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 You
It
know what
was
I hate
it
the
was a
most
brick.
about Game Boy is what I hate the most about Game Boy is the fact that uh the batteries, right? Like just killing batteries as a
Mm-hmm.
kid. Man, and I like trying to talk your parents into getting more batteries was worse than getting a new game sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Good
Because it
pick,
took
Bryce.
like 4 batteries. Thank you. It took like 4 batteries. I think I remember. I don't know if it was triple A or double A, but I remember the Game Boy taking four battery slots and taking juice and like taking all the juice out of the batteries and just like taking the battery charge, taking the like like so quickly, like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't last very long.
Yeah,
This
and
one says
Kevin
up
was right.
to
I remember later on, and Kevin, Game Boy was like right about the time me and you became friends. I remember later on that that bank was a must. Getting that big brick to hang out behind. Oh, look who's in town. Retro Cannon is here, by the way. Retro Cannon
hey.
Parthenon.
Oh, he built
And
it, huh?
look,
Oh, that's
everybody,
cool.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it today. Retro Cannon is at 97 subs.
Let's go.
Girl Dad is at 104, I think, or did you go
Yeah.
higher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
104 was last
Go
count.
follow Retro Cannon. It's him. He does video games. Look, he does. I have it right here. He's going through this book right here and playing old retro games for the very first time. So you go follow him at Retro Cannon. I'll put it in the chat. Go get him over 100, guys. Let's see if we can do that today, and that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. There it is right there. And then at Girl Dad Brad at Girl Dad Brad. There you go. Go follow those 2 channels right there. That's Andy's kids and my kids.
Hey, real quick,
So,
speaking of retro canon, I'm gonna solo layout you real quick. Show us that Bulbasaur you just were rocking.
yeah. So yeah,
I just
bring
saw
that
that.
up. Yeah.
Nice, dude. That thing is sick.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's big.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
How long did that take you?
2 days.
To like almost a day and a half.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Hey, Christopher Cravens. He's a guy that I met in the podcasting group. He was wanting to see if we could get a group and go on his channel, go on ours. Welcome to the show, man. See if you love it. Don't forget to mention Tony Hawk Underground. If anybody's going to mention that, that'd be Andy. Anonymous. Yeah, I love that. We had to build that. So, Christopher, since you're over here, I'm throwing you a bone, and you've got a standard moderator. We give those out to anybody that's here. Hey, make sure everybody's liking and subbing. Go do that, and because if you're here and you're going to watch this, you're going to love this. All right, Andy, you're up next. What was your criteria for Game Boy games?
Yeah. So for me, I had to own the game. So I played this game. I had quite a few of these games, but if I was owning it, I was definitely playing the mess out of it. These were addictive games. And just to that comment, though, about Tony Hawk, that was Game Boy Advance. So we are sticking to OG tonight. We may have a Game Boy Advance one. We got tons. That's the great thing about video games is that there's so many consoles and systems that we're pretty much set for the next couple of years. And
hey, I want to shout out a few people new. El Dorado, right? El Dorado, you got a wrench, man. Welcome. Sounds like you're a friend of Bryce. Mad West, throwing you one, bro. Again, here's the rule. If you guys are cool, we're cool. We're a PG. We're Christian. If you don't like it, hey, we're at 30. By the way, the record for a lot is 33. Right, so you might break our record tonight. We're at 30. Nobody go anywhere. Let's break the record tonight and get that thing over 33. PNX, love this, man. We miss you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out me, Vivo Las Vegas. There he is. Boom. And yeah, so here we go. Channel, let's have this. Andy, what's your rap? And let's get this Rosie going.
Yeah, so again, like I said, I own these games. I had a ton of fun playing them. I remember I saw Patrick's comment about having like the attachment eventually that you'd have the flashlight. You'd be playing these suckers at night. I mean, it was like you had to have full lights on. There's no way you couldn't play this thing in the dark until eventually we got some more technology to help us out with that. But yeah, it's nonetheless still super fun. And I'm going to go with my number 4, my Rosie. Again, just love this. This is probably one of my all-time favorite franchises of games. Without a doubt, I'm going to go Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy, that yellow cartridge. This is a fantastic game. This is, I think moving it from SNES to now the Game Boy, it actually worked well. Some games, like if you move it from one to the other, like you lose certain aspects of it. It's not quite the same. This was a pretty close 1-to-1 comparison there. But yeah, so Donkey Kong Land, again, like I said, Donkey Kong is up there for my top franchises of all time. I just love them, and I couldn't go wrong with this. Now, I was debating on choosing Donkey Kong Land 2, Donkey Kong Land 3. They had multiple. When you brought Daisy Kong, you brought all those ones on. But I'm going to go the OG just for nostalgia purposes. Again, you give me any of the Donkey Kong Lands, and I'm going to play the mess out of them. Any Donkey Kong game to this day is just fantastic. I know that a lot of people's anxiety began in those minecart levels, but I actually absolutely love those minecart levels. Believe it or not, I love them. It's like the original Geometry Dash, right? Was when we were trying to jump up and down those broken rails. You find the secret barrels. Gosh, this is such a great game. We talk great soundtrack. We talk great everything. I mean, great levels. Good. Just, man, it's so good. So good. I'm going Donkey Kong.
It's right here, babe. I know it's hard to see because I need to put my flashlight over the TV, but that is the original Tetris rocking back there, PNX. And Tammy, I'm sure we'll hear it. So, yeah, DK Land. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't have it. Remember the yellow cart. That yellow cart, I love when, like, Nintendo did this quite a bit, right? The gold cart, yellow cart, blue cart, red cart, made them all just a little special throughout the span of the cartridges, right? Retro Cart Collector's in here. I believe it was his channel that I saw a video kind of talking a little bit about those. but Donkey Kong Land, anything DK is amazing because Donkey Kong, to me, if, if you want to go follow Retro Canon, Donkey Kong's one of the first ones that we did, right? And it started out the other way around, right? Mario's the bad guy. He's trying to rescue the girl, but Donkey Kong is just in love, right? And it transfigures from this like King Kong guy to being a lovable character. We love what he was in the cartoon, right? We love the DK rap from 64. We love all that. Donkey Kong is a hit always here at the Rushmore Show. And I knew you were going to have this. I didn't know how high you were going to put it. But that's another Benjamin for me. For you guys out there, Benjamins. Oh, McKenna, my daughter, is in the house. Mac, everybody. Yep, that's my daughter. 3 years of the Rushmore Show. Yes. So 3 years tomorrow, guys, is our 3-year anniversary. So thanks for being a part of this. McKenna, I got to shoot you a moderator as well. McKenna's been on the show 3 times.
Hey,
so,
Kirk, real quick. I put it in the private chat, but check your audio. There's a lot of crispiness happening with you.
Okay, I'll fix it up. Let's see. You guys talk while I
go.
Okay, so
much better.
you know how Kirk was talking about the cartridges being different colors. I remember Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Gold and Silver had different colors cartridges as well. Pokemon Yellow was just pure yellow. I think Pokemon Blue was some of the Pokemon Blue cartridges was blue. Some of the gold and silver cartridges were just completely gold and silver. So I remember
those
that.
are really cool. A lot of nostalgia tied into that stuff too.
A lot of nostalgia. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I see
like
that.
Verizon guy. I love that. Rudy, welcome to the show, man. Oh, by the way, this is as I'm getting started, while I'm bringing my list up, this is for all of our new friends and some of you old guys that are back now that we're back in video games. Welcome to the Summit Squad. Whoa! So I'm going to give you my criteria. I'm going to jump into my Rosie, my criteria. Game Boy was my third or fourth console. And I remember getting it and having to rip it away. This is the first time I remember having to rip a controller. You know, it was attached, but a controller away from my parents. My parents would take this, sit in the recliner. My dad would play the mess out of a few of these games. And that's a part of my criteria. Just some of the things that I used to play with my dad and my mom. And then just here's the thing. My library wasn't very large when it came to Game Boy. I didn't buy a whole ton. So I probably had about 10 more than this. But here are my original games. Almost all of mine are coming out of this little stack. There's one here that I can't believe I don't have it. So I don't have it, but for sure, 7 of my 8 games are going to come out of this unless y'all pick my Benjamins. So there you go. My first game out of the gate, to me, is probably my least known for it. I mean, it's a part of a franchise, but this particular game is kind of a branch off of it, right? And I don't even know why I bought it, to be honest. I don't know how I got it, why I thought, oh, that might be a good game, but I did. And man, do I love this. So I'm going 1990, Andy, Capcom. First and foremost, Capcom game, 1990, action adventure. I'm rolling. Now let me open it because the inside is probably hard to see. Still got my name on it from 1990. I was 12. There it is right there. Oop. Gargoyle's Quest.
Nice game. Yes.
That is Firebrand from the Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins series. And this was an action adventure game where you actually controlled the gargoyle. And there was a Gargoyle's Quest 2. I didn't have it. I only had this one. And man, this was probably one of the games that I played the most out of all my Game Boy games. I love this. tremendously, and so yeah, I'm going. Let's see the kink. Let's see right. Oh gosh, yeah.
There
Who's
it
king?
is.
Who's king? There it is. Well,
Mark has some pretty cool Ks too.
and you know what? I think that's my mom wrote that. If I'm gonna be honest, I think my mom wrote that. But there it is. And I'm going with Gargoyle's Quest with my Rosie. Starting it off hot, man. Did you play this? Did y'all like this game?
What about you, Bryce? You like this game?
Yeah, actually haven't played that game, but I wanted to, but I've never actually played any of the Ghosts and Goblins or the. I know about them, but I haven't actually played any of the that Game Boy game, the one you Gargoyle's Quest or and I haven't actually played any of the Ghouls and Goblins, but I know about it, so but I haven't played it.
Hey
This
guys,
game was really cool. Oh,
let
Retro
me shout
Rob
out real quick. Retro Rob, I see a bunch of you. Barry, welcome back. Yoda's in the chat. Many of these guys are our friends that are always around. But Retro Rob, I want to say he's one of the guys that's going to be on the show in 2 weeks. And man, what a blessing that is. He just retired his channel, and he's coming on for one last hurrah, I guess. So yeah. Anonymous has put in his chat his numbers down.
That's a fantastic 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the number 1. I don't really like that number 1, but the other 3. Bang.
It's an RPG. The Frog and the Battletoads. It's a role playing game.
I don't like RPGs, so
that's why he doesn't know it.
No, but so here's the thing: the game you just picked, Gargoyle's Quest, is really cool because I like it. It's very much like Zelda to an extent, like that overhead, and then you go into those side scroll too, which is there's both of those things happening in the same game. So that is a really cool game. I like that.
Yeah.
And I like controlling the gargoyle. It seems like the bad guy, but you get to control, so it's kind of cool.
I saw that.
We would love to have you on the channel too. Look, we're game. Video games is here. There are some places if you want to jump in with somebody else's show if you were interested. So hit me up on Instagram. So yeah, absolutely. So I love this game. I love how you could kind of like fly, but you couldn't like fly forever. It was kind of more like a hover. You had to like rest and attach and go to different places. It was kind of RPG-ish with the map style, almost kind of Metrovania, if you will.
Yeah.
And, it's great, man.
Yeah. It's a good pick. Way to start our mountain. There's our Rosies right off the top, which means that we are now to our next level of the mountain, Thomas Jefferson, but that's not fun. So we call him TJ Jazzy Jeff. TJ Jazzy Jeff. Bryce, where are you going with your next pick on your mountain?
I am going Mario Land 2.
Nice. So Mario Land 2. Yeah, this is a great pick. Tell us about it.
It is, yeah. So Mario Land 2, it's a little bit different. They have a little bit different enemies than the normal Mario games, like from the Super Mario Bros. Series. This one was very unique in the fact that had a world map like Super Mario World, and it also had different enemies that was kind of really unique to the series and unique to the game. And some of the physics in the game was just different, but overall, it's just a fantastic Mario Land 2 and the 6 gold coins, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember playing as a kid. I remember one of the hard levels being the toy Mario, the giant toy Mario, I think it's what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I also remember the space level was really cool because how slow he fell from and jumped and stuff. I thought that space level was fun. I thought that the bosses were fun. I remember there was a mouse boss. I think there was a witch boss, if I remember correctly, a crow or something. I don't know. Just I remember it's been so long, but I beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the different how it's a little bit different. When I think of Mario games, though, I don't ever really go to the Game Boy for whatever reason. I just don't. I think of all these other banger classics, but this is a good one and it deserves to be mentioned. But like you said, there's a couple different, like there's like pigs, like different
Mhm. Different
enemies
enemies,
that
yeah.
that are like, wait, where did they come up with that from? Where'd they bring that in?
Yeah.
So
That's
I love the Super Mario Land. They got a bad rap because they kind of went away from the standard, right? Just like Super Mario 2 and the old Nintendo got a bad rap when it first came out. And just the same with Zelda 2. Like whenever something kind
Mhm.
of changes the old methodology, some folks don't like it. But nowadays, a revamping of that game redone on the Switch is what we always love. And they bring it back with new graphics and it's always a fun game when they do that. But yeah, so yeah, Vivo. So yeah, Fortnite is a great game, but it just doesn't fit in our thing today, and that's not going to work. And yeah, that's not going to work, and we're definitely not going to ban Retro Rob. That's for sure. So he's actually on the show in 2 weeks. So it's not a Game Boy game, and that's fun. So yeah, we're here, man. So I love this game. Another Benjamin. So this is a great pick. I'm here for it, Bryce. Good job, man.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Thank
uh,
you.
This is
Andy,
a really good pick.
you're
Thank
up.
Yeah,
you.
it's. I think that I think just last thing I'll say about this one. I think like you said, it gets a bad rep, like for being this kind of game. But if people were to just play this game and like look at it as like a game, I mean, it's a fantastic game. There's really nothing to hate about this game. But I'm going to move on to my next pick, and my next pick, actually, believe it or not, is not too far away from what you just said, Bryce. But I'm going Super Mario Land 3, Wario's Land. Right now,
Nice.
this game, dude, I can't tell you how much of this game I played. It was fantastic. You got to now take on the role of Wario and do all of the things that Mario did. But what was cool about it is that Mario had all his different powers and different suits and things that he could get, the flower and this and that. Wario could get different hats that gave him different abilities, right? So you got the Viking hat, so you could go crush through brick walls and stuff. Dude, this game, I cannot tell you how much I played this game. I love the sprites in this game. I love the how it looks. It's just a great game. Now they continued it. This was Wario taking over a Mario game, and then they eventually gave Wario kind of his own franchise and his own games and different things like that. But it was fantastic, and like I said, based on my criteria, did I play the snot out of these games? And this is absolutely one of those. So again, I'm going to go Super Mario Land 3, Wario's Land or Wario's World. I forget which one it was exactly called, but you guys know. Go check that game out. If you haven't played it, it is absolutely a must play. Super fun.
Some of our good friends are jumping in right now. Dave, welcome to the show. Little Timmy, which is Farhan, welcome to the show. Budget Rips, welcome to the show. Nikki 2 times, welcome to the show. Hey guys, we're talking Game Boy games, the original, the OG, the 1990-ish, 89-ish, 88-ish, 92-ish Game Boy. The original, the black and white, or really the green and black. And Andy, I love this pick. This was after my time of the Game Boy. Never played it. Wario is a big staple now, and this is a big deal. So yeah, I love this pick. And was Waluigi? When did he show up? Do we know when
He was
Waluigi
much
showed up?
later. He was much later. I don't
I
know
think he
when
was
he originally.
GameCube.
Yeah,
GameCube.
he was
GameCube.
a, he was a
I thought it
way.
was a little later. Man, Pick and Preacher's back. Oh, by the way, guys, Pick and Preacher is one of our guys, one of our convention bros, one of our Christian bros, one of our video game bros. He's going to be on next week, and he is moving on over into doing graphic design and videos for YouTube. So if you ever need some help, man, reach out to Pick and Preacher. He is he's doing it, man. He's one of the best storytellers in all of YouTube. I don't care what anybody says. So
I agree with
go
that.
check him
Keith's
out.
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love pink, but it's a part of our logo. So yeah, I'm okay with pink. Real men wear pink. So
Yeah.
what
I was
description
saying Keith's
creature pick?
awesome. Yeah.
The guitar. Actually, he is a guitar player, aren't you? Didn't he?
Yeah, I think
What
it
did
is.
So I know he was in a pop punk band, right? Or a punk band.
Mhm.
What instrument did you play, preacher? Yeah. So yeah, man. Welcome back to the show. So we're at our number two, which is TJ Jazzy Jeff, and I'm going big, man. So you guys took all of you guys. What you've mentioned so far are definitely Benjamins of mine. And Andy, I think you're going to know this one, man. You called it out, and it's the only one I have, and I love all of them. Okay, I think there's four of them. I think there's four of them on Game Boy. I think maybe there's this one, then the next one, and then the other one, and the next. I think there's four, maybe five. Okay, but I'm coming in with my favorite series of all time, and you know it. I'm going Final Fantasy Legend
Yeah.
right there. And here's the thing, name right there, Kirk. It's Kirk, not Kink. And hey, welcome to the show, Smoky Bacon. I'll throw you a wrench here in a minute. So going Final Fantasy Legend. That's the old school. This one was a little different because the Game Boy games weren't really in line with all the other Final Fantasies, Andy. You might actually you wouldn't like this either because of the reasons you don't like role playing games is one of the reasons you wouldn't like this. But it is turn based. It's just a different setting, and it's almost as if Square, it's Square and Game Boy, got together and said, "Hey, we need to get Final Fantasy over to the Game Boy, and let's just call this Final Fantasy, even though it's not." But it is a very fun game. I saw Kevin mentioned Adventure. I've played the Adventure ones, but it's not a part of my criteria. It's kind of on my Benjamin today. But Final Fantasy Legend, the first one. I mean, it is a dude. I've played so many hours of this game. It's not even fun. It's just I spent as a little kid. I'm draining batteries, draining them to death. Right. So there you go. Final Fantasy Legend, man, packed house. Yeah, pick a preacher. Video games brings everybody out, man. Just video games. Playing Turtles 2 with my youngest. I love that. Tell your fam hello. We love them. If no one mentions Brain Age tonight, I'm unsubscribing. Well, Brain Age might not make the list, but I'm going to mention it right now. Brain Age is a great game.
There you go. You can't unsubscribe. It's in writing. It's
There you
legally
go.
binding.
Interesting. I wish I could get into Final Fantasy. The only one I've enjoyed
Final Fantasy
so
14.
far is 14, but I understand a lot of them play very different. Yeah, almost every one of them except X and X2 are not really sequels to each other. They're all kind of their own story.
I will also say that I think if I'm remembering correctly, Final Fantasy Legend, the game you mentioned, was kicked off the series of the Mana series. It's either that or Adventure.
Yeah, so either them or Adventure. I think all of them together kind of was like what brought that on. And I love Secret of Mana and the Mana series, bro. That is
Me too.
That is top notch for me. Andy played Geometry Dash. No, we don't play Geometry Dash here, unfortunately. And I love what's going on in the chat. Thank you. Hey, Dave, we're gonna mention that here in a few seconds, so don't go nowhere. We're gonna shout that out here in a minute. Yeah, Dave's Gaming Galaxy, doing well, my friend, enjoying the winter, catching up. Hey guys, all my video game creators, Dave Gaming Galaxy, he runs the Louisiana RetroCon. So don't go nowhere. You guys all should connect if you want to come on down to Louisiana and make that thing like Retropalooza or something. Come on down, man. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Adventure was the first in the Mana series. There you go. Legend was the first in the Romancing Saga. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, perfect. I knew Kevin would know. Kevin is like the video game wizard. Like he's like he should write a book for real.
I buy it.
I'd buy it too.
So, all right, man. So, Andy, what you think about this one? I mean, you called it. You called it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was no
$1,000, I didn't
doubt.
catch you.
Yeah, there was no doubt that you were picking this. If I put $1,000 on it and nobody took me up on it, but I think that would be a horrible bet on your part. But yeah, I just don't. I'm not. You know, it's well documented that I'm not an RPG fan. So I just, you know, and there's elements of RPG in some of the games that I like. You know, that I'll mention later. There's elements of that, and there's things. It has to be extra special for me to like it, and I just never got into the Final Fantasies or the, you know, any of the other ones we've talked about. When Pick and Preacher was on, we named them all. I named the 4 that I can deal with. So,
well, Vivo, I am Santa Claus, but I'm off now, and I just work for the Rushmore show.
There you go. There you go.
PNX, we're definitely going to go to a bunch more cons. We are going to go back to Siege, and at least I am. Andy, I think you should come next year and come with us if you can. But we're going to go around, and now it's time. Let's chat about those. We're halfway, right? Yeah, we're halfway. Halfway point, guys, is when we kind of do a few commercials, guys, and we shout out our friends, all of our friends here. And let me do our first video. This first video is literally our lineup and what's coming up. I got this video out there for us to. Oh, well, we'll have to do another one, and I'll have to add it because I think it disappeared. So,
oh no!
Oh no!
No, oh no! Oh no!
Oh
So,
no!
I'll add it.
Yeah.
I'll add it. So, Andy, we are going to the Louisiana RetroCon. What's up, Specs? Welcome to the show. I'm wearing the shirt Mario right there. It's kind of almost like Mario Land-ish. It's Super Mario World, but kind of in that old school. And we have Louisiana RetroCon. Here it is. This year it is Sonic themed. You can meet Sonic and Shadow and a whole bunch of your friends from Five Nights at Freddy's and all kinds of other people that are going to be there. Wrestlers are going to be there. It's the same group in Louisiana as always. But I'm here to tell you, we have a huge video game community, and Dave is doing it right down in Louisiana. It's going to be in Gonzales at the Lamar Dixon. This is 1 month away from today. Andy, I booked my flights today. And we're going to do it right. Here's the cool thing. You guys, we love video games. We love movies. We love TV. We love all these things that we talk about. But what we really love is Jesus. And one of our favorite things to do at the conventions is we have nerd church, and which is what it means. We invite all the nerds, all the geeks, which is us, and to come in and we do a message. And this time it's going to be probably on Sonic the Hedgehog, if you know what I'm saying. But we get in the word. So let's see a little nerd in the word. Let's get it right here.
Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
They're getting closer.
Oh yeah? Watch this.
So we do Nerd Church at the convention instead of being outside the convention, telling all of you guys that you guys are not worthy, not doing the right thing. We go inside, we high five you, give you a big hug, hang out with you, and we literally preach just a fun message on whatever's going there, and just tell you how much that God loves you. I mean, we like to say you're our guild, and we've got your back, and we're on this journey together. So, Andy, I'm excited to do that there, but we're going to go to another one right before that. 1 weekend before that, 3 weeks away, we're going to Peloton. Now, Andy is going to be there for sure. Peloton is our buddies Corey. They were on the show before. Peloton is also down there in the South Louisiana, and it's a smaller little venue, and it's a Saturday event. Hopefully I can drive down and drive back, and we're going to be preaching there. And Andy, I think we're preaching Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom is the basis.
That's what we're preaching on. We're preaching Marvel versus Capcom. And we're gonna have fun down there with the Coreys, not Haim, not Hart, not any of those guys, but Daggerpont. Yeah. So we're gonna hang out
The
with
real
Corey.
Corey. The real
Yeah,
Corey.
the real Coreys. There's two Coreys down there. Bardsley and Daggerpont, not the Goonies, right? So that's another one of the ones. The last one, and I don't have this year's, but I have last year's. Here's last year's, last fall, 2 years ago. That was a 2-year one I pulled out. Look at that bad boy. And we're going to St. Tammany Collectors Con. There it is. There it is. St. Tammany Collectors Con. The proprietor and owner of that, he actually is a part of our church. He's going to be on the show this year. We're going to have him coming on. But we gone down there. Last year, we met Darth Vader, right? And 2 years ago, Andy, turn your mics down right now. Turn all your mics down. I warned you. 2 years ago.
Earphones out. Earphones out. Earphones out.
Here we go. Here we go. We met our buddy
Sergeant Slaughter, ID number 199-20017. Catch him, maggots. This is Sergeant Slaughter from the WWE and G.I. Joe, the real American hero. And you're watching the Rushmore show. This is the top 4 and nothing more. And that's an order. Yo, Joe! I don't know what that fellow said there and all that different type of language. Come on. Come on.
What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from Anthony's Comic Book Man. It's all about your top 4 and nothing more.
So we had FNAF, we had Sergeant Slaughter, we've had Ming. We've got one coming out that Darth Vader, the real Darth Vader from Rogue One, was on our show. He'll be on in a couple weeks. And man, we just have a blast at these conventions. Guys, go to these conventions, be there. I'll be at Siege. I'll be at hopefully now, hey, I see you still out there, Bryce. Bryce, you're going to be at 2 conventions. Why don't you shout those 2 out? Which ones you going to?
Sure. I'm going to be at RetroCon 2. Going to be a guest at RetroCon 2 in Williamston, South Carolina. On I forgot the date, but I want to be a guest there. I'm also going to be a guest at Game Central Station 8 in Athens or Atlanta, Georgia. And that's going to be, they're both going to be a lot of fun.
That's right up the street from me, Bryce. We're going to hang out. I went there last year. That's where I met Pac-Man, who's going to be on our show in a couple weeks. And Retro Wolf was there, as well as a few other guys were there, and I didn't get a chance to see them. All right, RNG, put them to bed. We'll see you in a few weeks. Be here next week for Keith. He'll be hanging out with us, and we're halfway
Bye,
through.
RNG.
So here's the deal. Andy, we've got 2 more things to share before I want to pray for New Orleans, right? Yeah. So we have a new sponsor of the Rushmore show, and we want you guys to go give them some love, man. We don't really get paid for this, but he is a good buddy of mine, and we do want to support him. Andy, tell us about our friend.
Check out the Village Coffee, official coffee of the Rushmore show.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code RUSHMORE for free shipping.
Go check them out. I love this coffee. Kirk, you've actually now had this coffee since you've been here. You can probably attest to it. It's fantastic coffee. If you guys drink coffee, I don't know how many of you guys are actually coffee drinkers. He will ship to the 48. And you know what's really cool? You use promo code Rushmore and you get free shipping. So there you go. I mean, it's you're just buying it at cost. You can do K-Cups. You can do them as grounds. He's got 3 different flavors. He also has decaf if you're a decaf coffee person. It's the coffee that you want to get. Go check it out. The Village Coffee at villagebeans.com.
Yeah, and so we've got one more thing we want to share before we pray and kind of share some other things. So down up there above Andy's head is the Culture Box, and we're a part of a group, kind of a YouTube creator team that just loves a few things. We love Jesus and we love pop culture. Andy, who are we sharing today of our great friends?
Let's talk about our friends over at the Cellcast.
The Cellcast hosts Jacob and Drew review animated movies and TV shows, discussing what they appreciate about the medium in whatever form it takes, whether it's a traditional hand-drawn animated movie, claymation shorts, or a 3D CGI series. Check out some animated reviews when you subscribe to The Cellcast at thecellcast.podbean.com. And don't forget, Cell is spelled with a C and a single L at thecellcast.podbean.com.
There it is, man. So those guys were just on our show not long ago. Their live is on Friday nights. We moved over to Thursday to not interfere with them and a few other things. Tomorrow night, go follow them on their live at the Cellcast. Remember, it's just one L. Andy, we've been on here a while as pastors. We're leaders of the church. We're leaders in our faith. And we love just mentoring people. And look, I just want to share this with you guys. If you guys have any prayer requests, you're welcome to send them here. You can always go to our front page, and we have Reboot there. Reboot, just like Rebirth, is where we do all of our missions and all of our ministry words. I just did one for Christmas with Link. And speaking of Link, it's coming right up. But with that being said, Bryce, if you could give me a few minutes of your testimony, what would you say? Just tell us what why are you so in love with the church and Jesus, man?
I'm in love with the Church of Jesus because I used to be a huge member of the church when I was younger, but I got bullied by some of the church members that I used to be at, and then I fell off my faith for a while, and then recently my granddad, 98 years old granddad, passed away, unfortunately, but he lived a long life. He fought in World War II, and he passed away. But when we went to his funeral, the preacher actually the pastor told him, shared his story, and shared that he was in World War II. He was in Germany, Battle of the Bulge, I believe, and he was in his cabin with his squad mates, and he woke up to the tanks coming through, and the tanks shot at his cabin and blew it up. And then so he prayed really hard, so hard, in fact, that he prayed to the Lord so hard, in fact, that he passed out. And then when he woke up, he and all his squad mates were alive. The bomb, there was a bombshell that didn't explode, and also the tanks were gone. So that's just a blessing. And then I realized, and then after hearing that story, I realized that God is real, even if people aren't so kind sometimes. So I decided to go to the church, and thanks to my dad, he was really pushing me to do something, volunteering and be at the church, and he wanted me to do the church, like I said. So I went to the Seacoast, the church that I go to, and it changed my life forever.
Yeah.
It changed. It's like Jesus changed my life forever, and I got baptized at the church, and the family is so amazing. They treat me like a family. They treat me like kind. They treat me good. They've been it's nothing but nice to me. I love them, all of them, and I just put my faith in Jesus. Put my yes on the line, as they always say. I put my yes on the table for Jesus, and always love helping, volunteering at the church. And ever since then, it's just been life changing. So,
Come on. Love that, man.
Hey, me and Andy have shared our testimonies out here. I was a broken person, and I became a pastor. I've been in my fair share of bad places, and that's why and when we were kids, we loved all these things, and I could have ditched them all, But I thought, Andy and I thought, hey, I mean, this might be a good segue to help us talk to other friends. And not like a bait and switch, because we're real. We're as real as it gets. And so, listen, if you guys are out there, you can follow us on all the socials down there. If you got prayer requests, you can send them at any time. I can't tell you how many things we've done as youth pastors and missionaries, Andy. We've been killing it. So, Bryce, I love that story. We've got some comments down. Yeah, dude, we support you and we want to help you. With that being said, there was a tragedy in our hometown, man. We're right outside of New Orleans. I live in the Atlanta area now, but Andy still lives over there, and I'm also a veteran. And that's not to pat myself on the back, but I love the United States. I love Jesus, and I love Louisiana. And man, we got impacted this week by obviously the bombing and the terrorists and ISIS and all the things that happen. You never want it to be that close. And I just want to pray for our country. I want to pray for everybody on the chat, and I want to pray for New Orleans. So Lord, I just thank you right now for just an amazing group of people to come together. But Lord, I just ask you right now to divinely move in everybody that's down there in the city, everybody that's been impacted, all those lives lost. Lord, I just hope that you can move and show your glory in any way, no matter in the good, the bad, or the ugly. We always give you the glory. Lord, I ask you to heal our country, heal our city, heal our town. Lord, I ask you to just support everybody here in a great 2025. And Lord, I know there will be no peace on earth until you show back up. But Lord, thank you for dying on the cross, but better up and for rising. None of this is possible without you. We love you in Jesus' name. Hey guys, we're going in the second half of this thing, man. We're in the second half of this deal. And hey, look, I got some new friends in the chat. Super Garbage Day and all you guys, welcome to the channel. We're in the second half of doing our top 4 of Game Boy games. So, Vivo, we are not a React channel. We will react. I'll go and visit your channel and whatever, but we have a bit of a schedule, so we stay on it. So we love you that you're here, though. We love that you're here. So
Hey,
right.
is your music on your channel? Just let us know if it's on your channel, because I'll come and support.
Yeah, I'm subbing your channel right now, Vivo. So you've got a wrench, so everybody can go sub him if you'd like. So boom. Bryce, you're up. The next guy is Lincoln. We call him Link, right? We love Link. And what's your number 2 favorite OG Game Boy game of all time?
My number 2 favorite Game Boy game of all time is Kirby's Dream Land 2.
Nice.
That game,
Oh my gosh.
that game
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is amazing.
I love that pick.
Absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
What do you love most about this, Bryce?
Well, as a kid, I remember just being in the game, loving the game. I love how Kirby, it seemed easy, but some of the bosses were hard. But I remember just being smiling and playing when he floated. Kirby floated a lot, and like how he could get different abilities, and it just overall was a really fun game. I just had a blast at Kirby's Dream Land 2. I know there's 3 and 1 as well, but I think 2 is the best in my opinion, because like you get they have the different partner abilities, like the gerbil hamster guy, the bird owl, and the fish. So
hey,
I love
so
that you made the right
next plays. We were on Spotify in the beginning. We're so far down the rabbit hole, we haven't put them back up. But this is episode 151. The very first 10 episodes were on Spotify, which you could get on Apple. There's a goal one day to put all of them back out there on Spotify and Apple, hopefully one day. I do want to shout out Super Garbage Day. I just went and subbed. Super Garbage Day is only about 30 away from 1,000. Guys, go sub
get them there
right now. Go sub Super Garbage Day right now and support that channel. Yeah, and go do that. Yeah, you all got wrenches, so go do it. So, man, what a great game. You guys, you're really nailing out some Benjamins, Bryce.
I know,
love
and
it.
that's what's killing me right now.
Kirby has become a staple of Nintendo. He has moved, like, I would say there's Mario and Luigi, there's Donkey Kong, and then there's probably Kirby when you come to thinking of Nintendo mascots. We have heroes coming up with Iowa Retro Gamer. Kirby might be on that list, man. What's your least favorite game, guys? Of all time? Of all time? I'll talk about it on my pick. And Game Boy. Man, I'll have to think about it a second because we usually kind of think of these up, not just in the right off the cuff. So yeah, thank you, Sean. Real life perspective show. Go pay Super Garbage Day. Go pay him back, man. Real life is an amazing show. If you love nostalgia, go follow Real Life. Andy, this is a good one, man. What you think?
Kirby's Dream Land 2, you took a Benjamin away, just like Kirk said. This is fantastic. It is so. The first one's really good, but I think 2 is the first time where you're getting those abilities. Because I think, if I remember correctly, Kirby's Dream Land 1, the original, you weren't like getting the abilities. I mean, you still had the same, like Kirby had his same ability, but it wasn't. You didn't then take on the other one. But this is really good, man. And we want to talk about some of the more visually appealing games of all time. Any of those in that Kirby realm, the artwork in Kirby is just beautiful. I love the look of it. I love the cover of this game specifically that we're talking about. It's just, yeah.
Let me pull it up. I want to remember that one.
You can't not have fun. You can't not. Nobody's ever played Kirby and said, "Man, I'm just not having fun."
Yeah, exactly.
How do you like him in Smash?
I don't play him that much, but I know that there are people like my friend Jake. He plays Kirby a lot and DDD, so he's a huge fan of the Kirby series.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. Anybody that is superior at Smash with Kirby ticks me
next
off.
level. Is next level.
Ticks me off, dude. They all the different, like eating everything and just. I'm like, stop it! You're bugging me. I can't. Kirby is awesome.
Kirby's a hard character to get used to like playing wise. But once you get him, I'm impressed with people that are pros with him. So
yeah, it takes a special level to be GOAT with Kirby. I mean, it's anybody can pick. Now, see, I'm playing 64, so Super Smash Bros. Has added so many characters since then. But like when I was playing, dude, I was Samus, I was Link. These are the guys that I wanted to play as. I was even playing as DK. You mentioned
all my faves. Falcon was underrated.
Yeah, Captain Falcon. I mean, just come on, man.
Did you play Bowser at all? Did you like Bowser at all?
I always wanted to play with the big guys like Bowser and Donkey Kong, but I was never good at those guys. I like a faster character like Link or Falcon or even Now
I'll tell you this: in Mario Kart, I'm never playing as the big guys. I'm always 64. I was always Yoshi. Yoshi was my go-to for Mario Kart. I picked Toad. Toad is good. You can pick between Mario and Luigi. I was always picking Luigi. I don't know why of the two.
Yeah,
I was picking, but I always felt like DK and Bowser were just slower.
They
psychological. I think
always Meta Knight. Yeah, Meta Knight's underrated. Koopa Troopa was my racer. As a racer, listen, I'm gonna tell you. Well, I'll share in a sec. I got a lot of things I'll share in a second. Anyways, Andy.
Koopa Troopa, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy, you're up.
All right. So my next pick, in sheer hours spent on this game. Now, we've said this in the past. I don't remember what episode. Like back in the day, we didn't like keep hours. Like like now on like Xbox and PS, like you log how many hours you're playing this game. I don't think we had that capability back in the day, but I can tell you it would be disgusting to see how many hours I spent on this game, this game alone. And it's surprising that it's here, but I'll tell you why it's not my George. because there was another one in the franchise that was better once we improved the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color. But needless to say, nevertheless, but I digress. How many more? IE, Ergo, vis-a-vis. No, my link is Pokemon. I'm going to cheat here. Pokemon Red/Blue. I mean, you can give me either one. I was probably picking the one with Charizard, so I'll pick Red. But Pokemon Red/Blue. That's going to be my pick here. And I say that if we were doing Game Boy Color, yellow would probably be my George. Yellow then added in, I think the bicycle came in yellow. And so there's a little frustration in red and blue of like you walk really slow and you can't. But all of that aside, this game was revolutionary. Now, and exactly, so this is what I was just about to say, Patrick Little. It is an RPG type game, right? Exactly. And if you go back to my RPG episode, this is my George. Because Pokemon was amazing enough for me during that time that I could overlook that. The fact that I was fighting Pokemon that I was used to seeing on TV, or I was used to seeing in my trading cards, and I was used to seeing in all these different, like it just added that, for me. A lot of the RPGs that I see that I don't like, I'm not a big anime fan, so I see a lot of like the anime style stuff in RPGs. It's like this medieval, like high fantasy world type
Watch
thing.
your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I know but here's the thing. I absolutely love Pokemon for the music that's involved with it, being able to catch them all and collect and do these things. I hated walking through the cave because I saw a Zubat every 0.5 seconds. We would encounter, and Bryce knows. I see him laughing there. He knows. Too many Zubats, right? Too many Zubats here. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, this game is just beautiful. It's a great game, and like I said, the amount of hours that I spent on this thing. I remember specifically going to Justin Toops, who's been on the show, my friend's house, and getting on Game Boy, playing Pokemon, starting at like 8 p.m. And then the next time I looked up, it was like 7 a.m. Like I just didn't look up. I didn't move from that. This game has taken a lot of my life, and but I love it. I love this game. I love all things Pokemon. This is nostalgia for me. And I think this is going to be at the top of many lists when you go out there. Top Game Boy games of all time. Pokemon games are going to be one of those ones that I mentioned.
So we talked about this with Pick and Preacher, RPGs. I'm not a Pokemon guy because of my age. I do love collecting the cards with my kids. You guys just saw Retro Cannon, and man, go help him out to the 100. He might have already gotten it. At Retro Cannon, that's my guy. If you love video games, you'll love his channel. If you love Pokemon, you'll love his channel. If you love opening cards, you'll love his channel. He's about to open all these cards right here, by the way. And Sean, that's all you, bud. He's about to open all these on his channel. But I'm not a Pokemon guy, but I am an RPG guy, and I appreciate you put this on here. I wish that one of the reasons I wish I grew up in the 90s as opposed to the 80s is Pokemon. Things like Pokemon, Power Rangers, stuff like that. And I'm here for it, man. I'm glad you put this here. I knew you were going to have this. Wasn't sure how high. Again, this is like your Rosie with the DK. Yeah, good pick, man. Good pick.
I love this. Well, PNX World said a bunch of Pokemon first gens. That's exciting. That's very
TCG.
And
the Pokemon TCG was
Prince.
amazing.
Nice.
Oh, wow, that's great
awesome.
stuff. That's great stuff,
It
Nikki.
says-
Yeah, go back to that. Wait, look, let's go back up to Nikki, and I'm gonna put him up. I need to go back to the RPG episode to see if any of you gave love to Chrono Trigger. Listen, go back. We'll just go back.
I think Pokemon is amazing. That's one of my favorite.
So I saw you reacting, Bryce. You're a Pokemon fan?
Yeah, I'm a humongous Pokemon fan. Ever since I was young, like I love Pokemon, and I just love the TV series, the games, the TCG, and
I love that how it says since I was young, like he's not young now.
I thought I was yours age. I don't know. I love you. I love Pokemon. I don't know.
No,
I
I
feel
do
you.
too. Listen,
Yeah.
after school, I was rushing home to get Pokemon on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 3:30 it came on. I was like the last bus stop.
Yeah.
So it was like I was catching it right as it came on. And then I
Yeah.
was playing the game too. I was collecting the cards. I was doing
Mhm.
all of it. I was all
Yeah.
about Pokemon. So
Yeah, I love the different Pokemon too. Like I love the designs. I love the just like how amazing the game. Just I wouldn't even say addicting. Just is life. It's like it's crazy how much Pokemon blew up in the world and like exploded in popularity. And I'm just grateful that because I remember when I was young, people didn't like Pokemon. The kids my age, a lot of people hated Pokemon or were annoyed by it or bully me because of Pokemon. And I'm like, what? I like Pokemon.
you bring
I
up a
just
great
understand.
point, Bryce. Listen, back in the day, when I was what's the next line? I'm waiting
Back
for
in
you
the
to-
day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
He
But
always says
someday
it. He
I
always
said,
says
wish
it.
I was a kid again.
He always says it. But no, but for real, back in the day, like the things that we loved back then got made fun of for and beat up for or whatever are now like the cool thing. It's so
Hmm.
crazy to me. That's like
Bro,
if
if
you
I was
don't like
raised nowadays, I'd be the coolest kid in school.
You're
But I
right.
was the farthest of the coolest kid in school. Bryce, I am right there with you. I talk to my kids at school all the time. One of the things that I talk about, because I'm the health teacher, is we talk about emotional health, and which means we talk about bullying. And I tell them all about my bullies, and they laugh because they're like, Mr. P, they call me Mr. P. Mr. P, there's no
Hmm.
way you got bullied. I'm like, heck to the yeah, I did. It wasn't
Hmm.
cool to play video games. It wasn't cool to collect cards. It was not cool to play things like that. And if I was raised
Exactly.
today, bro, I'd be the coolest kid on the block, man.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh man.
And much like many of the people in the comments, many of the people we go to the cons with, those are the guys that weren't cool 20 years ago, but wish they were cool today. And we bring our kids to go
Hmm.
see it. Now
Yeah.
it's cool.
Hmm.
Bryce,
Yeah.
bro, Pokemon is an amazing franchise, and
Hmm.
yeah, definitely cool to follow that. And Andy loves it, man. Andy loves
Yeah.
Pokemon. Pokemon and Power Rangers is his thing, man. So that's kind of
Hey,
what he
I
does.
also real quick, I'm a tattoo guy too. I had a thought, and it was almost going to become a reality at one point that I was going to get a whole Pokemon sleeve on one of my legs, and I
Mm.
was going to have it was going to be like a Japanese style one, and Voltorb was going to be the sun, and then I was going to have like
Oh.
Gyarados and Magikarp, the koi fish and all that stuff, but didn't wind up happening. But hey, I still got canvas, so maybe it will.
What's a sleeve? Sorry to interrupt. What's a sleeve? When you say sleeve, what does that mean? Like
So
a
it's like when
tattoo?
when a whole area is tattooed. So like if it's an arm sleeve, it's like here down, or even half sleeve would be shoulder to elbow. Full sleeve would be your whole arm. It's
Oh,
just
I
like one
see.
piece that goes the whole way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna do that, but it didn't.
Dogbert, you're still hanging out, lurking. Thanks for being here, man. So yeah. By the way, Power Rangers just dropped a new game on Switch, Andy. And oh, speaking of that, Bryce wanted to do Switch games, but I knew you weren't a Switch guy. But hey, Bryce, hold yours up. Bryce and
Yes,
I are Switch
sir.
guys. There it is.
I want to be.
But,
I want to be. It's just I have to pick and choose my fandoms. Like I mean,
yeah, I
there's
know.
so
I
many
know.
things that I want to get.
I feel you. I feel you. What are some honorable mention Game Boy games? They're coming up. They're coming up. They're coming up. They're coming up. We're almost there, Manny. We're almost there. So my turn.
Yes,
My link
do it. Do it.
is
It makes-
Link's Awakening. Come
Yeah, good one.
on.
Yeah,
What are you
of course it is.
talking about? Zelda Link's Awakening. There it is playing on my Switch. The new style. And there's the original game that I had. My name isn't on this one for some reason. I might have stole it. Back in the day I did things like that. But yeah, here it is. Link's Awakening, my number 2. Listen, it's Zelda. And you guys mentioned Super Smash Brothers, it's Link. When it comes to Mario Kart, it's Link. When it comes to anything anything Nintendo, Link is my first guy. I didn't mention him earlier, but it's probably to me Link, another guy, which I might name in a little bit, Mario, Luigi, and then Kirby for me. Saturn Steve is in the house. Saturn Steve is
Also-
going to be on the show with Manny in 3-4 weeks. They
Nightbot.
are going to be
Nightbot.
doing. They're going to be
Nightbot.
doing the top 4 Genesis games of all time. That's going to be a hard one, Andy. I'm stoked about that one. Hey, look, check this out. Great game, loved it. BJ Bergeron. Bergeron is in the house. It's not Bergeron. It's
He said, "I just can't."
Bergeron.
I was about to say, Nightbot, man, Nightbot, leave our friends alone. But hey, look,
Nightbot,
Saturn Steve is
Nightbot,
coming to fight.
stop it. Leave our friends alone, Nightbot. Leave
There's
our
a
friends
way.
alone.
There's
It
a
was
way to
just
fix
shocking
that.
Nightbot shows up for the randomness. Like, he could have been out here earlier and he didn't do his job. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Saturn Steve, I'm throwing you a Cherokee's in the house. Saturn Steve, I am throwing you a moderator. You got a wrench. Go friend everybody if you want. Support. Retro Cannon and Girl Dad are looking for a couple. We're up to 29. Hey, listen to this. Don't go nowhere. 33 is the record. 33 is the record. Haven't played Echoes of Wisdom yet, Preacher. It is on my list, but I am been playing Tears of the Kingdom for the last 3 months. I bought it in the beginning, but didn't start playing it until about 3 months ago, and dude, it is sucking all my extra time right now. I do want to play Echoes of Wisdom. I got to get it. I don't have it yet.
I just
but,
started Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is really fun.
Cherokee Girl got over 50 subs in the last 24 hours. I think I'm getting botted. Listen, hopefully they're real and they stick. But Cherokee Girl's an amazing channel. She's got a great lasagna, I hear. But yeah, and go check her channel out. Hey, Vivo, you're back. Vivo Las Vegas. Andy up there looking all dandy. Andy looking dandy. Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom is pretty cool. So here's the thing, man. I am a Zelda fanboy, dude. It is. I've got Final Fantasy and Zelda, and if I'm talking franchises, they're on it for sure. If we do a top 4 franchises, those are 2 of them, 100% that are on. And I'm probably going to mention one of the other ones here in a few minutes.
Let me just ask you this. Okay, so Link's Awakening, right? For your Link, how much of that is you just put it at Link? Not because it's not Link. But is it a
would have been my George?
Is it capable of being George, or did you bump it down to Link just for the Link?
It would have been my George, but the George is the George. It's just number 1.
Okay.
It's the only game to me out of this group of games that I played a lot that couldn't be.
It was my 5. It was my 5. He took my 5. So
it couldn't be leapfrog. I don't know Genesis, but I'll figure it out. Hey, look. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to make it happen. Hey, again, Barry, I'm sorry, but yeah. Hey, look, so Andy's not an RPG guy, and he did RPGs with Keith. I'm not really a music guy, and I love music, and Andy is a wizard on it. So we kind of do things out of our thing sometimes, so it's all right. So, Andy, we are to the George. We are to our number. Oh, you want to jump in, Bryce? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I played Link's Awakening. I played the DX version on deluxe version on the 3DS when 3DS had it on the, and I know the remake came out, so I played that as well. But I played the DX version, if anyone remembers it, on the eShop, and it was and I had a blast with it. I thought it was really fun. I thought
very similar to the Final Fantasy. This is a different style of that game. It's almost like Link to the Past. It's similar in the top down of the original and Link to the Past, but it's very limited in certain aspects because it was Game Boy original. So Game Boy, that's the whole thing about being on the Game Boy. It's kind of there's some things taken away just so they could port it. And so I love this version because it's added all these cool graphics and things that we would have never gotten. And it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so now we are to the George Washington, which means our number 1 numero uno head honcho, the prime rib of our Rushmore. Bryce, the number 1 Game Boy game. What is it? Tell us why you love it.
Okay, the reason why I'm like this is because I think if I remember correctly, Andy, you picked something that it was a top one for me. George, oh my gosh, Pokemon Blue.
Yeah,
Pokemon
wait, hold
Blue.
on
Oh!
1 second. We got a Rushmore
On
All right,
Pokemon.
tell us about it.
So, like I mentioned earlier, there was a lot of fond memories with Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon, but even though I don't play it much now, I still like it holds a very special place in my heart, my mind, and Pokemon Blue was just. I remember spending even more hours. I remember playing, just like getting all the badges, trying to get my Pokemon
Don't need
doing
no
after I
stinking
beat
badges.
yeah, getting my Pokemon to level 100 after I beat the Elite Four. I remember trying to get Blastoise to 100, and that took a while because it was really hard to do it from like after beating the Elite Four and all the other stuff. Just trying to grind in the grass and trying to find the best place to level up. I remember that was a lot of fun. I remember it's just so nostalgic for me, but it's also so much fun. It's just like even if you play it now, it may be a little outdated with the graphics, but it's a lot of hi Gabe, what's up? It's a lot of fun. Like I really thoroughly enjoyed playing my Pokemon Blue. And I just remember telling my mom, "Hey," and she said we have to go. And I'm like, "Wait, one moment. I'm trying to beat the Elite Four, or trying to beat this battle first, so I can save." And I just remember it was so addicting, so much fun. And yeah, it's like Adam Steve said, I got a Pokemon C shirt from him, which I really appreciate for my birthday. Thank you again. I love Pokemon. I don't know, like words cannot express how much I love it. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like Andy says, and like Kirk was saying, getting bullied for Pokemon, but I think it's amazing. Also, to answer Sam Steve real quick, did I ever get to check out that VHS? I actually have my VHS right somewhere around here. But I cleaned up for today's episode, but cleaned up my room, but
Thank you.
yeah. It's somewhere around here. I still have the Pokemon VHS in my drawer. I've been planning to watch it eventually and see what episodes are on there.
So
But
Andy, I already talked about Pokemon and my thoughts. I love Pokemon. I love collecting the cards with my kids. My son just collects a ton of these. He just had Bulbasaur on here earlier. He's building the Mega Blocks because Pokemon's Mega instead of Lego, which that's kind of stinks. But yeah, hey Yoda, thanks for lurking, man. Thanks for still being here. And but I love Pokemon, man. Pokemon's awesome. Pokemon is like your age is Ninja Turtles to me because
Yeah.
that was kind of in He-Man
Yeah.
and G.I. Joe. You
Yeah.
guys had Pokemon and Power Rangers. And here's the deal. I love it, Andy. But you mentioned Red and Silver, right?
Red and blue. Red and blue.
Oh, you said Red and Blue. Okay, so what are the differences? Fill me in. It fit me. What's the difference between the colors?
Well, red is the color red.
Thank you. I knew it.
With Charizard.
Appreciate that.
Blue.
And if you mix the two, do you get Pokemon Purple?
Well, you don't want purple. We're both youth. There you go. Oh, he's gonna bring it out. There it is.
There it is. Let me see it. Let me see that.
That's a
bad boy.
giant one. Look at that thing.
Look at that.
Oh, but so that's a different one. Which one? That's like a
Crystal. It's Pokemon Crystal.
those are not
That's
crystals.
crystal.
The
Now,
blue
so
had
what I mean by that
Blastoise.
is if it's red, do you play with like Charizard, and blue you play with Squirtle, or do they what's the
I believe red and blue were basically the same game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think
Yeah,
there was
they were. Yeah.
It was just like a different cover. Got like different games that added things. Once we got to like yellow, we got different features on it. Like I said, the bike and some different things. That's really the only three that I played, Game Boy wise specifically. Now I know they added the crystal. Once you got to the next gen of Pokemon stuff too, then you added those different Pokemon in. But I played those. And I was all about the first gen Pokemon. That's kind of where I ended. After that, I think there were some different. Yeah. So Phoenix says there's a couple different Pokemon you can catch that are different between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a reason to have both. I had both for sure. I think I just always gravitated towards Charizard of those two as a Pokemon, so I
Hey.
played it more probably.
So we got Saturn leaving. Saturn Steve, we'll see you on the show in a few weeks. Don't miss next week. We're with Pick and Preacher. Come and crash that party. And yeah, we can't wait to have you guys on.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Stand True.
So
Stand True is a Red
exclusive.
exclusive.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks
so it has
for
some exclusives.
educating me. Thank you. Yeah, I love these picks, man. Great. They aren't on my Benjamins. First ones that aren't on my Benjamins, only because I'm just not connected to them. But I am a huge fan. I love, dude, building those Pokemon with my son and just seeing the sheer joy is just a blast to me. And you know, we've got all those right here on the system, so we might start playing some of those games. 100% will crash Preacher. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Summit Squad, man. We the support is just out the roof. And yeah, so all right, Andy, who is your George? What's your George? Remember when we used to do the "What is your George" segment? Who's your George?
Yeah. So my George, you know, one of the most iconic for sure. There's a fun word. That's a word we love. Came out in 1994. 94. I was 5 playing this game. Let me tell you about a couple other things happening in 1994 real quick, though. It says,
I love this. Take us back in time.
The North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, is established. Okay, that happened in January. I'm just on Wikipedia, really finding ones that are quick to read. The 1994 Winter Olympics are in Lillehammer. I like to lick a lemon lollipop in Lillehammer.
Lillehammer. I remember that.
In March, the People's Republic of China gets its first connection to the internet. There you go. In April, voters in Finland decide to join the European Union in a referendum. There you go. Those things are happening. May 10th, Nelson Mandela is inaugurated as South Africa's first black president, with the actual Mandela effect happening there. June 19th, Ernesto Samper is elected president of Colombia. All these things are cool and fun and great, but really the most important thing that happened, Donkey Kong came out on the Game Boy. I'm talking OG Donkey Kong. Mario is that you're playing as Mario. Donkey Kong is the villain. This is my George, my number one game. As many hours
You're
as
doing DK 2 times. I love it.
I did. Now this is a different Donkey Kong game. This is OG. Donkey Kong's not your playable character, so it's totally in a different realm, but it's still Donkey Kong. The first couple levels are very similar to ones that you'd play on like the NES and different things like that, but they added so many different things. The amount of hours that I spent on Pokemon, you can triple that at least with how much I spent on Donkey Kong. There was a time in my life where the only game that I had for Game Boy was Donkey Kong, and I played it a ton. I don't even know the words to describe how often I played this game. I love it so much. I was going back and watching gameplay today on YouTube, and I was tearing up because of the nostalgia that it brought back to me. I'm not even like, I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. I really do, but I'm unashamed to tell you that I was doing that. Dude, this game is so good. The different things you can do, like you have to think through things. So there's portions where there's no way that you can jump across this area. There's spikes underneath it. So you got to get this block, and you have to temporarily build this little road to get across. You get the hammer that you can grab that you keep throwing up, and you beat your enemies with that. You can toss the hammer up and then catch it on the next level if you time it just right. Dude, this game is so good. I literally, again, today, I want to buy a Game
Mort
Boy.
is in the house.
Yeah, there you go. I want to buy a Game Boy just to buy this game. I don't care about any other game. These other ones are fun and great and awesome, but I want the original Donkey Kong 1994. I love this game with all of my heart.
Bro.
Yeah.
I can't believe you went DK 2 times.
It's one of the best franchises.
I can't believe it because I'm one of your best friends. That's your thing. Hey, look, let me shout out Mort because I don't know how long you'll be here. Mort, listen, I'm going to just throw this out there. One of the best storytellers in all of YouTube. He's coming to hang out with us in February. We're doing overrated games. Listen, a little starstruck. been watching Mort from the beginning. We met him at Siege, and he agreed to come and join us. Thanks for being here, Mort. We are ecstatic to have you. We can't wait. And I'll throw you a wrench too, because everybody in our live gets a wrench, Mort. So, well, everybody that we trust. There we go, man. Bingo. And Mort is now a moderator of our channel. Well, that's
love
like a
you, Mort.
bucket list that we already hit on day one. So there you go. So wrenching, baby. There we go. So here's the deal. I love this pick. I'm still blown away that you picked 2 Donkey Kongs because it's limiting your choices there. It's
I'm telling you, if I had a Game Boy today, the only game that I really care to have is this game. It's it. I mean, it's it.
I love it.
It's a hot take, but I don't want to play any other game. This is the game I want.
Look,
So I have
Sean's
a question.
number 1 is Ninja Turtles. Oh, wait, hold on. Number 1 is Ninja Turtles: Rise of the Foot Clan. Great game. Love that game. And Cherokee says, Mort is a wrench winch now. Ha. Yeah. Dude. Bryce.
Yeah.
DK?
So
You DK?
yeah. So I actually have a question. Does it play like the original arcade version, or is it
Yeah, so
different?
the first level is very much like it's the ladders you're climbing up. The whole point is getting to Donkey Kong to get the princess, right? And it's not Peach at that time. It's what's her name? Golly, Rosita. What's her name? Anyway, it's her.
Pauline.
But Pauline. That's it. Why did I say Ro? So it's playing like that, but they just added so much more to that original arcade version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look.
I
So
see.
in Cannon's book, Pokemon Red and Blue. There it is.
There you go. There you go.
Let's see. What else have we mentioned? Oh, Wario Land. You mentioned that, Andy. That's next.
Wario Land's so good.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Mhm.
Oh, number 2, Gargoyle's Quest 2 is in here. That's a great pick. Oh, Bryce.
Kirby's Dream Land 2.
Yes.
There you go.
Dream Land 2.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah, well, and then it jumps to Nintendo, Super Nintendo. So, anyways, I love this pick, man. Good pick. All right, so mind blowing. We made it all the way through Game Boy and didn't mention the greatest game of all time because we're at Mind George, and I'm going to save the show, and we're going with the only one that matters right there behind me. I know you can barely see it, but I'm going with the Game Boy Tetris, not Tengen Tetris, not the other. This version of Tetris. Now, let me tell you why. Tetris, to me, when I think of Game Boy, it was a launch title. It was one of the greatest games I ever played because it is one of the only games in the history of gaming that I could play with my dad. My dad loved this game, and I watched him, and he was terrible at it. I became quite a master of it at my young 10-year-old age to get into the high 100s, 150, 60, 70, 80. And I remember just like you barely even see what's happening flipping. And nowadays they got all these different modes where they're like flipping back and forth and they're doing all the buttons and they broke the game. Have you seen this, Andy? These videos where they like broke the game. Like in order to beat it, you got to break it. But here's the thing. I wasn't nearly that good. But in my mind, I was the best I've ever been. You know, the best there ever is, there ever was, and ever will be. I was like the Bret Hart of freaking Tetris. And I'm going to tell you, my dad, he would get to like right at like 100 and he would die. It would just get too fast for him. And I remember as a kid just reveling in the idea that I could sit on the recliner and watch my dad play my video games. Now, my mom would play it too. She wasn't nearly as good. But I remember my dad sucking the batteries dead from just playing this. I'm like, my turn, right? And then I would have him, he would come in my room and he'd have the Game Boy and he would play Tetris while I played other games sometimes. It's the only video game time I ever can remember playing with my dad. He was not a gamer. The only other thing he really did was those like LJN, like casino games, right? Not like the other one, but like the ones that like were slot machines and stuff. But this is a huge nostalgia memory, a huge it has to be here. It to me is the greatest Game Boy game of all time. It's not maybe the most fun, but it is the staple for me. Tetris. George.
And probably next to like Mario, the most iconic game, like soundtrack to a game, right? I mean, it's great. And what's great about Tetris is that in its simplicity, right? It's not that anyone can pick it up quick. You know
And
this game.
here's the thing. Bryce mentioned Dr. Mario. I don't have Dr. Mario on the list because of Tetris, right? They were very similar in structure and similar in execution, but Tetris was my game.
Yeah. Speaking of Tetris, I know that there's an online Tetris game that you can like play for free with other people, like ranked and stuff. So you should check that out. I think it's called Tetris is like the site Tetris. I'll link y'all later, but it's a fun
And
Tetris.
they got all kinds of Tetris. Tetris 2 has like 2 things where you can like battle. They have Tetris Attack. They have all these new Tetrises.
Tetris Effect.
I remember when you had the original Tetris, and then everybody was like, the Tengen Tetris was much more expensive and all that stuff. And I remember as a kid, man, just Tetris, man. Tetris, dude, the Tetris movie on Apple TV. Listen, I'm not a huge Apple fan, and we've talked about this, but I watched this, and I like borrowed somebody's login just to watch it, and it is awesome. It is awesome. That is a crazy cool movie. Tetris on Apple TV is fantastic.
Hey, Dave said, fun fact, some of the Tetris songs were used and remade for the Luigi's Mansion stage in Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. That's awesome.
That's
nice.
That's cool. So, Dogbird says, I played Space Invaders when I was like 14, but now I'm 20, and I will always remember that. Space Invaders. I remember playing Space Invaders when I was like, 8, and now I'm 46. So there you go.
I played Space Invaders last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese with my kids, the giant wall Space Invaders. Now that
I played that the other day. We had the giant wall one at our bowling alley arcade, and that one's fun. Yeah, I played that.
Have y'all played? So you know how you mentioned the Kirk mentioned the TMNT. Have y'all played the TMNT on arcades at all?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, arcade version.
If you go back to our arcade episode with Maximilian Parrish, I remember that because he rapped for us in the beginning. That's back in the day when we weren't live and we had cool intros. We did our top 4 arcade games, and Ninja Turtles is on my list, Bryce. Yes, it is. 100%. All right, so we're to the end. So we're gonna play a little game real quick before we leave, and we call this All About the Benjamins. Now, Benjamins is just another name for our honorable mentions because we just researched a little bit, and we liked the story that Benjamin Franklin was potentially going to be added to the mountain back in the day. So he's kind of like an honorable mention. So we call him All About the Benjamins. And we do it a certain way, and stick around to see about all our honorable mentions. Here you go. All About the Benjamins, baby. Andy, All About the Benjamins is happening. Now, here it is. Bryce, you are drafting first. Andy is second. I'm third. It's like a draft, like if you're in sports or fantasy football. You're going to draft, but we cannot pick anybody we've already mentioned. Okay? Nobody that's been mentioned today can be drafted again. But you can pick any 4 that haven't been picked. But once you pick one, we can't pick it from here on out. No more crushing. Okay? So what is the first one that you can think of that we haven't mentioned yet that has to be mentioned today before we leave?
Home Alone.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Oh, deep cut. Home Alone is awesome.
It is, yeah.
Pick.
I like it.
Yeah, it's very fun. Like I remember like you could jump on the desk in the game and like something like that, and you can move around. It's like a side scroller game, and like it was just very fun. It was hard but fun. I remember that game.
Dude, this was a difficult game. I'm looking back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We're doing hardest games with RNG. This might be one of those, man. I remember Home Alone was
This is
man,
challenging.
it is hard. Nikki,
Yeah.
you heading out, man. Hey, everybody, if you love pack ripping, if you want to go and hate on the Eagles with me, go on over to Nikki 2 times. He is a huge Eagles fan. He's always going live. He's doing some pack ripping. He's one of our bros. Go follow, go sub, and go support him.
Yeah.
He's a part of that Summit squad for sure. All right, Andy, you're up.
A lot of mine got taken. I'm going to do this one. This was a fun game. Now, I did not have this game, but I had a friend, my next door neighbor, growing up when I was in it was like pre-98 because I moved to Covington. Anyway, he had this game, and I remember it being just a fun game. I'm going Kid Dracula.
Kid Dracula. When I pulled up, what are the hidden gems?
Oh, really?
Of Game Boy. This was number 1.
It was a
Kid
fun. It's a fun game.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you got, dude. I made it. I survived. I think I'm gonna make it with all 7 of my games. I
Okay.
survived. It's potential. I don't think you're gonna say that one. So I'm gonna hold that one. I'm gonna hold that one. It's yeah. Here we go. So my next franchise that needs to be mentioned, we need to mention it because it's one of the greatest franchises of all time. Andy, can you guess?
No. Yeah, good one. Good one. Now,
Mega
which
Man
one specifically?
Legends.
Which one?
Gosh.
Oh, Legends.
Yeah, Mega Man Legend. Listen, this game is hard. Ah, this is like Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1 is a hard game. This game is hard. Mega Man Legends, boom, right off the bat. Now, I was nervous. I was nervous about this one, and I got 2 copies of this. I should probably give one of these away on the channel. I got 2 of these on here. One, but
Give one to me. And when I
Give
get a
one
Game
to
Boy.
yeah, I
I don't even know what it is. If it's an RPG,
It's
I don't know.
yours. It's yours, and it's yours. All right, here we go. So you guys mentioned number 2, and you mentioned number 3, but you missed the OG. Wow, Super Mario Land 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 1. And look, there's the one with Kirk on it, and I don't know why I have a second one. Probably stole that one. Look, I broke it, probably stealing it. I don't know. I was a kid. I used to take things. But Super Mario Land number 1, the OG, man, gosh, I love this game so much. There's so many different new characters in it, and it just is I remember like being in the submarine. You're in the submarine, and you're like, oh gosh, love that game right there. It's not a favorite for everybody, but for me it was because it was one of my original 10 or 12 games, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Real life wants to know about Mortal Kombat, MK, baby. I didn't have MK for the Game Boy. I did have.
Was there
a
a Mortal Kombat?
There was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah, I've never played it, but yeah.
So okay, that's helping me out here where I'm going. My next pick I'm going to do. Now we want to talk difficult games.
So he just helped you.
Well, he helped me in knowing that I could save my next one for my next time up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just positions for this. I'm going to go with. We want to talk about difficult games. Now, this version on Game Boy made the game. It was actually a little easier than the NES one or Super NES one. But on Game Boy, it was super fun. I'm going Battletoads.
Ooh!
Battletoads on Game Boy was now the NES version, Super NES version was highly challenging. This one was a little bit easier, but it was different. But yeah, I'm gonna go Battletoads. I like the artwork in it. I like a lot of these Game Boy games. You had sprites that were very simple. There was some pretty detailed artwork in these Battletoads.
Battletoads is so good, man. Now,
Nice.
Andy, we can't move further. Bryce, you can't go yet. Because what is the most important thing about Battletoads, Andy? We say it all the time.
The pause music.
Yeah, dude, the pause music, dude. It reminds me of that short when the guy comes in and goes, "Hey guys, we need a pause screen for 007."
But it's just pause music. No need to go crazy.
No need to go crazy. And it hits so bad. Yeah,
All right, Bryce.
Vivo, hold on. Vivo asked a question, and I don't want to ignore him. I missed it. So he wants to know, do y'all like basketball? We've done plenty basketball. We're both from New Orleans, so we don't have really a team. We love the Pelicans. They're terrible this year. And for me, I love players. So Shaq's my guy. Andy, I think Shaq's your guy too.
That's my guy too.
But yeah, I like players. I love players. I don't hate the Celtics. You said the Celtics. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. It was my dad's favorite team. But yeah, let's move on, man. So Bryce, you get 2 picks, bud. 2. But you can't mention anything from the mention.
Yeah, all right. So my first one is gonna Kirk might not like this one, might be jealous of this one, but I'm gonna say Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages.
Yes, I didn't have that one. Yes, Oracle of Ages is a great game. I think they re-released that too, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
I have it on the system.
So yeah, they didn't re-release it, but they I think they put it on the Switch Online.
Let's see. Yeah. So what's your next pick?
Oh, my next pick. I'm gonna say Wario Land 3.
Oh, good one. Yeah. Wario getting some love today.
Wario Land 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now 3 was cool. So that in the pick that I made earlier, like that was kind of like I said, the first
time Mario was introduced. Yeah.
Full on big role in a game, and then they just took it and they went a couple Wario Lands. And it just got better and better, I think. You know, as far as game, but just nostalgia for me was the other one. But yeah, this is a good pick. I love this one.
Yeah,
love
Wario Land.
Hold on.
Oh, what is he? Do I need to zoom in on? Do I need to solo your screen?
So, all right. So, get Vivo. You're a Celtics fan. There's our guy. There's my guy. We're Pelicans guys, but they're terrible this year, and Zion's probably disappointed us. But the only back-to-back you need to be worried about is back-to-back-to-back. And there he is.
I'm removing him from the screen for right now. I'm going to take him off. He just had technical difficulties. He messaged me. Let me know.
Yeah, back-to-back-to-back, baby. All right.
Are you not a Celtics fan? Are you not a Celtics fan, Andy?
No, he was showing Patrick Mahomes. He was showing the Chiefs.
Okay. My fandom's garbage and Vivo. I'm a Yankees fan. My dad grew up a Yankees fan. In New Orleans, we don't have baseball, so I've been a Yankees fan forever. Andy is an Angels fan in the baseball world because he's from Los Angeles area. There it is. And both Andy and I were from New Orleans. So we are definitely, there it is, Andy, show it.
Oh.
Bingo. We're both Saints fans. I, as a young kid playing Tecmo Super Bowl, and I've told this story before, many people think I'm a bandwagoner. Screw all you guys. That's about as lack of PG as I get. But I am a Chiefs fan for life, dude. Since Derek Thomas, Christian Okoye. So I'm a Chiefs guy. Hockey side, I'm a little bit of Penguins. I'm a little Pens, only because everybody loved Gretzky, and I was a Lemieux Yager guy in the 80s. But I really am not anything in hockey. Basketball, we're from New Orleans. I cheer for guys, so Shaq usually, but I'll pull Pelicans. Andy, I think, is Pelicans. And in college, Andy is a Roll Tide. How'd they do in the playoffs? Same thing LSU did, which is my team, but they won their bowl game. LSU is my team. And, yeah, we're good, man. We're good. But y'all did beat us. And Milroe retired, so, yeah, he's like DeBoer.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, you need to go pro. I don't know where he's going to go.
Hey, I will say this. Garbage. Go Chargers. Listen, it's funny, right? You're not supposed to like in rivals. I don't hate all of the Chiefs rivals as much as I hate the Saints rivals. The Saints rivals, I can't stand any of them. I hate the Buccaneers. I just loathe. I loathe the Falcons, and I don't really enjoy the
So it's funny. Saints, you know, I hate the Falcons. We can make that clear. We know that. But the Panthers and the Bucks. I don't like them, but I don't hate them as much as I do the
Well,
Falcons.
I don't like the Bucks so much more for the last couple years.
I actually hate the Niners and the Rams more than I hate the
I
other.
hate
Oh,
the
my
Niners.
gosh.
Listen, if we're gonna top 5 teams or top 4 teams you hate, right? Alabama, Boston Red Sox, Atlanta Falcons, and the San Francisco 49ers. That's my top 4.
Oh
across the
no!
board.
Oh no! My dad's
Uh-oh.
a huge 49ers fan, so
Listen, here's
so he
why.
might
Here's
have
why I
to
don't like
disagree.
the Niners. The Saints
Well,
used
the
to be
Niners
NFC
used
West.
to be in the Saints division. Yes.
We used to be in the same division, and they
Joe Montana
literally
and
destroyed us.
Steve Young would destroy us. And then
Okay.
Montana came over to the Chiefs, and I was a Chiefs fan at the time, and I was like, yes. But anyways, we dealt with a lot of crappy football.
Yeah.
I'll cheer for the Chargers. I love their uniforms. They gave us Drew Brees, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Antonio Gates are 2 of my favorite players of all time. I don't mind Harbaugh. I wish him luck, but yeah, we're going for it again.
Do y'all like the Redskins at all?
I like them now because of Jaden LSU. Yeah,
they're like the team that I pull for, but I don't have like a rooting interest. Like I have to have them win. I mean,
I'll pull for him because of Jaden now, but yeah. So
now I was pulling for him this year because I have Jaden.
Let's get back. So where were we? He gets
back
one
to
more.
Me. No, he gave us his 2. He gave us his 2, right? He said Zelda and what was the other one? You said another one.
Wario Land 3.
Wario Land 3.
Oh no, Wario.
So
3, right?
my next one, because my 4th one I don't even. It didn't come up on any list that I ever pulled up, but it was only because I had it that I'm going to pick it. But this one, I'm gonna do this. And our buddy mentioned it. I got to do it. Mortal Kombat. This is good. This is good. Now the reason it didn't make my top 4 is because it's much better on other systems, like on other places other than Game Boy. But it's a pretty good version on the Game Boy. I love anything Mortal Kombat 2 though. So that was button mashing was my life. So yeah, Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna give that one some love.
Was Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy? Was it like different from the like other consoles? Like was it slower, I guess, or how did it feel to play?
Yeah, well, so it not being in color is one thing that hurts it a little bit. Honestly, the sprites they still looked pretty good. It was pretty. It worked well. It worked well, but it just what? Yeah, it was less gory. It was just kind of like. Everything was down just like a notch. It still was good. Everything was just down just a little bit, at least in my opinion. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was limited, but it was impressive. I like that Super Garbage Day. That's perfect. All right, man. We're running out of steam. We got 14 people still hanging on with us, and I'm going to give you the last game that I actually have in person that's in my library. Here it is. Yeah, it was we were talking about shooters earlier, and this was the shooter I was playing. This might actually make my list when Retro Rob is here. I am going with R-Type. And gosh, this game, lots of playing time. Oh, come on, focus, baby. Focus. There it is. R-Type. Man, I love this game so much. Great shooter. Kind of like Gradius. Love that game. That's going to be my next one on the list. And I am out of game. Actually, I have one more game. I wouldn't put this one on my list. And I'll show it if one of you guys pick it, but I'll show it at the end. I only have one game left out of my whole list. But my last pick, I'm going to go with, and I was scared because I had Dr. Mario, right? I had Dr. Mario and I had this one. And I was like, gosh, they took Dr. Mario. You're going to take this one. So you guys mentioned Kirby a couple times, but I'm going Kirby's Dream Land number 1. Number 1. When he was launched, bro. And I remember this game. Dude, I love this game. In trying to figure it out, the dynamic. So I'm finishing off my round with R-Type and Kirby. Kirby Dream Land.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to put that on Benjamin's too. But my last pick, and I would be shocked if any of the 12 that are in the chat or anybody here on board knows this game, played this game, even knew it was a game for the Game Boy. I had it. It was a very difficult game. And
Tell me, please tell me it's this.
It could have been. It could have just been because of my age. It is such an obscure. It's a licensed.
It's not obscure. This isn't obscure.
It's licensed side scroller platform, kind of deal. And I'm going with The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. The Adventures of Rocky. Dude, I played this game a ton. My dad would play this. Dude, no way. Super garbage. His grandma bought it when he was little. I remember that. It was actually a pretty fun game, and I was looking back again.
I love this comment.
I was looking back again at gameplay today. Is Permanent Marker sponsoring this episode? They should be, Rocky and Bullwinkle. That was my there you go, Barry. All right. I would kill to have this game again, just for nostalgia purposes. It was certainly not the greatest game of all time, but I remember when you would jump as Bullwinkle, you would almost not float, but it was very slow moving, and so it was difficult to avoid a lot of this stuff on there. But yeah, Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I remember the movie. I definitely remember the movie.
I remember the cartoon, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like they say every game is someone's favorite.
Yeah.
Kev's still hanging around. Yeah, love when people love those fringe games. Dude, I didn't even know this was a game.
I know, yeah. I think I might have been the only person who
I know the show. Watched the show as a young kid. But yeah, Pink Panther was a part of it, I remember. Yeah. Man, good pick, man. I love these picks. These are the picks that make our show great, man. This is what makes the Rushmore show so much fun, is reminiscing on things like that. So, Bryce, do we call him Mr. Irrelevant? For all of my 49er fans, it's Brock Purdy, who's looking for a good contract. Who's out there trying to get their contract extended this year with the last pick of Game Boy games? Finish us off, dude.
Okay, so mine, excuse me, mine personally would be another Pokemon game, and this was actually an original Game Boy game. It would be Pokemon Yellow.
Okay, there you did it. You did. So that one came out on original Pokemon or original?
Yeah,
Game Boy?
It did.
Okay,
it did.
Nice. So, Andy, who was your first draft pick on this, Benjamin?
My first one was Kid Dracula.
Oh yeah, Kid Dracula.
You just writing it. Oh, it was original, but yeah, you're right. It was absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for the 14 of you out there, here we go. So Bryce came in strong with his Rushmore of Dr. Mario, Super Mario Land 2, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Pokemon Red and Blue, and his honorable mentions were Home Alone, Zelda the Oracle, Wario 3, and Pokemon Yellow. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Andy came in strong with DK Land, Super Mario Land 3, Pokemon Red and Blue. Oh, I missed one. What was the other one I got?
My George?
No,
Donkey Kong 94.
Oh, and DK. I just put the line under the wrong one. And DK. And then he has Kid Dracula, Mortal Kombat, Battletoads, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. What? And then Kirk comes in strong with we're going to go with Gargoyle's Quest, Final Fantasy Legends, Link's Awakening, Tetris, Mega Man, Super Mario Land 1, R-Type, and Kirby's Dream Land 1. We're going to put the poll down on the comments and the Instagram. You guys go and vote who was number one today. Bryce, thank you for being here. Yeah. This was an amazing time. We have so much coming up, and I forgot to add the video, Andy. I'm going to add it right now while you chat. Tell our friends good night and all the things that you're going to do before we head out.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me. I really love y'all show. I really believe in everything y'all do. I think y'all show is amazing. I think the top 4 I do is an awesome topic kind of thing. Everyone, please sub to the Rushmore show. They're awesome. They're phenomenal. Please sub to them. They're amazing people. Like they say, they're not a uh, faith channel, but they do talk about faith, and so that's just an amazing thing. Um, for me personally, what I'm looking forward to do is be on PTR Games, RetroCon 2, Game Central Station. In those are the two conventions I'm going to be on. I'm also have a lot of plans for content. Personally, I want to do vlogs. I plan to do vlogs. I plan to do a lot of Nintendo Switch content, a lot more Nintendo Switch content, and I plan to just do more with my podcast I have, and maybe I'll do some Fortnite as well. But other than that,
Well,
just
Debo would love that because he's a Fortnite guy.
yeah. Yeah,
Man,
but yeah, just that's basically what I have planned. So yeah.
dude, listen, how
Barry
can they
Barry's in
find
there. I
you?
got to
Where
show
can
off
they?
my.
What do they have to type to find you?
BryceJW. It's just easy to find. You
You can
just
find
find
it
me
on
on YouTube.
everything, man. Bryce
Yeah,
JW, go
on
sub, go follow. You
I'm on
all,
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and that's about it. But yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
so we are super excited about what's coming up this month, and the video is up, Andy. I got it on. And look, before we head out, watch this. This is listen, some of these guys jumped in today. Well, if you would have told me a few years ago, tomorrow makes 3 years, that we would have some of these names of these guys like Bryce on our show. I mean, Bryce, you're almost hitting 7,000 subs. Some of these guys are 20,000, 30,000 plus. And they've been around for the last few years in this gaming community. PNX. So here's the thing. I've got 5 guys that are by themselves. One is Retro Rob. Maybe you guys want to jump in with his show. Retro Rob is actually doing he's doing first person shooters. I don't know if you're into that, but if you want to jump into one of these shows, I'm sure one of the guys will welcome you guys in because you guys are part of this community too. We love this. But here's the video of what's coming up, guys. You don't want to miss this every Thursday night. Here we go. Man, I am stoked. This is going to be so much fun. Andy, year 3 is kicked off perfect. We almost broke a record tonight. I think we hit 31, 33, I think is the record. That was in the very beginning stages of this. Man, Bryce, we love you. We'll continue to support you. Everybody go do it right now. And we'll see you guys next week. Pickin' Preacher, Shmups. We're doing some shoot 'em ups. Doing some, oh man, I am ecstatic. We'll be at all the cons. We got all kinds of going on. We'll be there. Listen, we're free on Friday night now, baby. So we got all those Friday night friends that we haven't been on. And hey, real life, when you need us back on, we're ready to roll, bro. Because now we're free. So, anyways, it's been fantastic. Any of you guys need us to be on your shows, we're there. Let's do it. Only if you want to hear us talk about GoldenEye. That's about when we peak. Well, yeah. And listen, I'm going to share this. Andy's shared this too. Andy's an N64 guy. I'm a PS2 Nintendo guy. That's my jam. He's an N64 guy. Dude, DJ Wise, have you been lurking this whole time? We love you, bro. Thanks for being here. And look, check this out. Andy got him an N64, as many of us in the retro community do. We go and get these old systems, and we played GoldenEye the other day. And I'm still as terrible as I was in the beginning because it does not live up. Like
It does not hold up today. It does not hold up. No, for
it's
sure.
one of those games that don't live up. Let me show you another game that doesn't live up, and it didn't make my mountain. My last actual hard copy Game Boy game. There it is, buddy. Paperboy. what? I mean, why did I buy this? Like, I mean, as a kid. Now it's just gold, bro. It's like that's red. It's on my mountain, but not nearly.
Listen, real life. Listen to us when we tell you they definitely jacked up their prices.
So yeah, they benched him up. They pushed that Joker up, and Andy and I were in talks of switching over, and we went live twice that morning, and later in the afternoon, I got an email saying that they re-upped us, and I was like, dang it! Yeah, it over doubled, and this is our last year with StreamYard. I think we're gonna move over to Streamlabs or one of the other ones. I'm not good at OBS, so I can't figure that out, but I love what StreamYard does for us. So we're gonna go one more year with this. Andy and I we're already sunk our teeth in, but as far as moving over, we're looking at some other ones. River, or the Streamlabs. There's some other ones that we're looking into, but yeah, definitely prices. Boom. Who's been
Listen,
the
I hate
constant?
to say it, but Ohio State looks unbeatable right now.
What Ohio State did to Oregon last night, I think Bucks are taking it.
Yeah, it may be Buckeyes. Yeah.
I'm pulling for the Catholics.
No. Get them out of here. They don't even have a conference. They play junior varsity teams. It's unfair.
Yeah.
Are they still in it?
I didn't catch tonight's game. I know they were big on Georgia.
I don't know. Did they finish it? Did they
It's
let them
got to
come
be
back?
over by now, right?
Did they let them come back? They couldn't have let them come back. They were up huge. Yeah, they won. They beat the big boys.
I will say about football. My NFL team is Buffalo Bills.
Hey, there you go. I'm on with you, Bryce.
Yes,
Let's go,
sir.
Josh Allen. Take down the.
And guys, with that being said, we're going to end this stream with Chiefs 3-peat, baby. Just hey, I love Josh Allen. I love what he's doing, but I hate the Bills, bro. I mean, just because they're a big rival, the Bills and the Ravens. And
Let's go, Derrick Henry, baby. Let's go, Derrick Henry. Roll Tide to the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah.
Derek Thomas was the best roll tide ever. Just saying.
That was awesome.
All right. Well, Bryce, we love you. We thank you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the green room. Andy, tell everybody good night.
Well,
Bryce,
hey, it's time. Thank you for everyone who joined tonight, everybody who's still here. Let's say good night, like we always do, for the third year in a row. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four.
And nothing more.
Peace out.